Good morning, it's Lynn here from the Learn English Network in Kitely, and yesterday we're going to carry on reading Five Children and It. I foolishly said earlier that maybe we finished today, but let's see. You're welcome, Shiny. I know you have difficulty actually finding us and following us and getting into the room. Oh, but you're outside. You're standing outside. Next to the broom. Are you going to do some sweeping, Shiny? It doesn't matter, wherever you're comfortable. Ah, dear. Oh, what did I say yesterday, April?
I think so.
Did I? Oh, I'll have to re-watch that bit. I'm not sure. My brain is in Monday mode still. Okay. I had a very busy weekend and I was up at 5:30 this morning. So I don't know what's going on. It's not good being up at 5:30 on a Monday. It's definitely not the way to start the week. But I have at least had my tea now and my coffee, so I'm fully tanked. Okay, so today's reading list. April will be the first to read, followed by Eleanor, then Moz, then Reem, and then Shiny. Last but not least, Shiny. If anybody else comes along, we'll have to just see if we have time to add them to the list. But I do have to be a little bit punctual today. So I suggest we begin. April, have you found the place in the book?
Yes, I'm
Awesome.
ready.
Excellent. I love that. Whenever you're ready to start, then.
Okay. Then slowly, sorry, 1 moment. Then slowly, by twos and threes, the Indians who had gone to look for firewood came back, and they came back empty-handed. They had not been able to find a single stick of wood for a fire. No one ever can, as a matter of fact, in that part of Kent. The children drew a deep breath of relief, but it ended in a moan of terror. For bright night knives were being brandished all about them. Next moment each child was seized by an Indian. Each closed its eyes and tried not to scream. They waited for the sharp agony of the knife. It did not come. Next moment they were released and fell in a trembling heap. Their heads did not hurt at all. They only felt strangely cool. Wild war whoops rang in their ears. Then, when they ventured to open their eyes, they saw 4 of their foes dancing around them with wild leaps and screams, and each of the 4 brandished in his hand a scalp of long flowing black hair. They put their hands to their heads. Their own scalps were safe. The poor untutored savages had indeed scalped the children, but they had only, so to speak, scalped them of the black calico ringlets. The children fell into each other's arms, sobbing and laughing. Their scalps are ours, chanted the chief. Ill-rooted were their ill-fated hairs. They came off in the hands of the victors, without struggle, without resistance. They yielded their scalps to the conquering rock dwellers. Oh, how little a thing is a scalp so lightly won. They'll take our real ones in a minute, you see if they don't, said Robert, trying to rub some of the red ochre off his face and hands onto his hair. Cheated of our just and fiery revenge are we, the chant went on. But there are other torments than the scalping knife and the flames. Yet is the slow fire the correct thing? O strange, unnatural country, wherein a man may find no wood to burn his enemy. Ah, for the boundless forests of my native land, where the great trees for thousands of miles grow but to furnish firewood wherewithal to burn our foes. Ah, would we were but in our native forest once more. Suddenly, like a flash of lightning, the golden gravel shone all round the four children instead of the dusky figures. For every single Indian had vanished on the instant at their leader's word. The Samyat must have been there all the time, and it had been the Indian chief wish. Martha brought home a jug with a pattern of storks and long grasses on it. Also she brought back all Antia's money. My cousin, she gave me the jug for luck. She said it was an odd one, what the basin of had got smashed. Oh, Martha, you are a dear, sighed Antia, throwing her arms round her. Yes, giggled Martha. You'd better make the most of me while you've got me. I shall give your ma notice directly minute she comes back. Oh, Martha, we haven't been so very horrid to you, have we? Asked Antia aghast. Oh, it isn't that, miss. Martha giggled more than ever. I'm a-going to be married. It's Bill, the gamekeeper. He's been a-proposing to me off and on ever since you come home from the clergyman's where you got locked up on the church tower. And today I said the word and made him a happy man. Antia put the 7 and 4 fourpence back in the missionary box and pasted paper over the place where the poker had broken it. She was very glad to be able to do this, and she does not know to this day whether breaking open a missionary box is or is not a hanging matter. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Oh, spot on as well. 5 minutes and at the beginning of the next chapter. Awesome. Okay, so let's have a look at the individual words. Just a couple, so well done. Nicely read. And not much in the way of corrections, but we have got a couple. So let's give that a go. The first one, it's not, your pronunciation was fine, it was the stress. So it's conquering.
Conquering.
That's it. Perfect. To conquer, she stoops to conquer, and conquering is the verb. Okay? Then fiery, not fiery, fiery.
Okay, fiery.
Because it's fire, yeah? Fiery. We were talking about the fires in California this morning. So it's a very fiery experience. So it's like fire, okay? Then shone, not shown. To shine, shone, it's shone.
Shone.
Shone. Shorter than, not Sean.
Shone.
Otherwise, if you make it too long, it sounds like Shaun, as in Shaun the sheep. Okay? So, shone.
Shone.
That's it.
Shone.
That's it. Good. Then pattern. Make sure you get that a and the p. It sounded a little bit like button when I heard it. Pattern.
Pattern.
Better. Good. And then church tower. So church and then t. Church tower. Try it.
Church tower.
Yeah, church tower. It's a bit of a tongue twister, I know. Chita. Church tower. Good. And the last one, pasted, not pasted. Pasted.
It's not from the past tense.
No.
It's from paste.
To paste, yes. Paste. To paste.
Pasted.
That's it. Good. And just to confirm, well done, because you worked it out. Wild war whoops.
Wild war whoops. Oh, three
Yeah.
W.
Three W's.
Wild war whoops.
At the World Wide Web. Very good. Well done. Okay. Any questions before we move on?
There was one
yeah.
word that I don't know which was what. Not that. I can't find it anymore. Which one was it?
I don't know. The wherewithal?
No.
Okay.
Was,
well, have a look through, but we'll carry on because, as I say, I've got to finish today.
Yeah.
But have a look through and see if you find it. Ask in the next question bit. Eleanor, it is your turn. So you're actually reading from chapter 11.
Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah. Of course, you who see above that this is the 11th and last chapter know very well that the day of which this chapter tells must be the last on which Cyril, Antia, Robert and Jane will have a chance of getting anything out of the summit or Sand Ferry. But the children themselves did not know this. They were full of rosy visions, and whereas on the other days they had often found it extremely difficult to think of anything really nice to wish for, their brains were now full of the most beautiful and sensible ideas. This, as Jane remarked afterwards, is always their way. Everyone was up extra early that morning, and these plans were hopefully discussed in the garden before breakfast. The old idea of £100 in modern florins was still first favourite, but there were others that ran it close, the chief of these being the pony-each idea. This had a great advantage. You could wish for a pony each during the morning, ride it all day, have it vanish at sunset, and wish it back again next day, which would be an economy of litter and stabling. But at breakfast 2 things happened. First, there was a letter from Mother. Granny was better, and Mother and Father hoped to be home that very afternoon. A cheer arose. And of course this news at once scattered all the before-breakfast wish ideas. For everyone saw quite plainly that the wish of the day must be something to please Mother and not to please themselves. "I wonder what she would like," pondered Cyril. "She'd like us all to be good," said Jane primly. "Yes, but that's so dull for us," Cyril rejoined. "And besides, I should hope we could be that without Sand Fairies to help us. No, it must be something splendid that we couldn't possibly get without wishing for." "Look out," said Antia in a warning voice. "Don't forget yesterday. Remember, we get our wishes now just wherever we happen to be when we say 'I wish.' Don't let's let ourselves in for anything silly. Today of all days." "All right," said Cyril, "you needn't talk so much." Just then Martha came in with a jug full of hot water for the teapot, and a face full of importance for the children. "A blessing, we're all alive to eat our breakfast," she said darkly. "Why, whatever's happened?" everybody asked. "Oh, nothing," said Martha. "Only it seems nobody's safe from being murdered in their beds nowadays." "Why?" said Jane, as an agreeable thrill of horror ran down her back and legs and out of her toes. "Has anyone been murdered in their beds?" "Well, not exactly," said Martha, "but they might just as well. There's been burglars ever at Pearse Marsh Place. Bill's just told me." and Dave took every single one of Lady Chittenden's diamonds and jewels and things, and she's going out of one fainting fit into another, with hardly time to say, "Oh, my diamonds," in between. And Lord Chittenden's away in London. "Lady Chittenden," said Antia. "We've seen her. She wears a red and white dress, and she has no children of her own, and can't abide other folks's." "That's her," said Martha. "Well, she's put all her trust in riches, and you see how she's saved. They say the diamonds and things are worth thousands of pounds. There was a necklace and a river, whatever that is, and no end of bracelets, and a tarrer, and ever so many rings. But there, I mustn't stand talking and all the place to clean down afore your ma comes home." "I don't see why she should ever have had such lots of diamonds," said Antia when Martha had flounced off. "She was not at all nice lady, I thought. And Mother hasn't any diamonds and hardly any jewels. The topaz necklace and the sapphire ring Daddy gave her when they were engaged, and the garnet star, and the little pearl brooch with great papa's hair in it. That's about all. When I'm grown up, I'll buy Mother no end of diamonds," said Robert, "if she wants them. I shall make so much money exploring in Africa, I shan't know what to do with it."
Very good.
Wouldn't?
Well done.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No alarm clock. Thanks.
No alarm clock. No, I don't want to shock people. I do have an alarm clock, but it only rings for me. Very good. So, practically perfect pronunciation. One word, just to confirm. Scattered. To scatter, scattered. So it's more of an ah.
I swallowed it. Scatter, scatter. Is it better?
That's it, yes. Scattered as the past tense. Okay. And then this
Scattered.
next one is about intonation, because it's a question. Now, you got the question form right on the Y, and it's always difficult when people sort of split the sentence like that. But the whole sentence is a question, and you kind of forgot that when you got to the second part of it. So you'd read it like this.
I had the feeling.
Yeah. So you'd read it. "Why," said Jane, as an agreeable thrill of horror ran down her back and legs and out at her toes, "has anyone been murdered in their beds?" So it's still a question. Try it.
Oh. "Why," said Jane, as an agreeable thrill. "Why," said Jane, as an agreeable thrill of horror ran down her back and legs and out of her toes, "has anyone been murdered in their beds?"
That's it. Good. Much better.
Oh.
Yeah. So remember, when it begins as a question, it will end as a question, especially if there's a question mark at the end. Okay? So that intonation, that kick at the end, and just yeah, the sound is, it's not a statement. Okay? Okay, so who's next? Let's see. It's Moz. Mozzie. Mozzie. Are you ready? Oh, is Moz still with us? Moz, can you hear me? Oh, maybe Moz has gone AFK. April, did you remember what word it was you wanted to ask?
No, Lynn, I can't
Oh
find
gosh.
it anymore.
Isn't that always the way? I'll tell you what, that's one thing I like about Kindles, because if you see a word, you can just double click it and it will save it for you, and then you can go back and review it. But we haven't got Kindle on this, so okay. Reem, are you with us? Okay, so Reem, if you take Moz's place, and then hopefully he'll come back and get himself sorted. So whenever you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. I will start. Wouldn't it be jolly, said Jane dreamily, if Mother could find all those lovely things necklaces and rivers of diamonds and turrets. Uh, Tea uh, arrows, said Cyril. Tea arrows, then and rings, and everything in her room when she came home. I wish she would. The other does it at here in horror. Well, she will, said Robert. You've wished, my good Jane, and our only chance now is to find the Sabbath. And if it's in a good temper, it may take back the wish and give us another. If not, will goodness now knows that we're in for the police, of course, and don't cry, Sally. Don't cry, Sally. We'll stand by you. Father says you need never be afraid. If we don't do anything wrong and always speak the truth. The truth. But Cyril and Antia gloomy glances. They remembered how convincing the truth, but the summit had been once before when told to the police. It was a day of misfortunes. Of course, the summit could not be found, nor the jollies, through even one of the children searched the mother's room again and again. Of course, Robert said, we couldn't find them. It'll be mother who do that. Perhaps she'll think they've been in the house for years and years and never know they are the stolen ones at all. Oh yes, Sarah was very scornful. The mother will be receiver of stolen goods, and you know, Jola, what that's worth then. Another of excessive search of the sand pit failed to revolve the family. So the children went back to the house slowly and sadly. I don't care, said Antia stolidly. Well, tell mother the truth, and she'll give back the jewels and make everything all right. Do you think so? Said Cyril slowly. Do you think she'll believe us? Could anyone believe about smiled unless they'd seen it? She'll think we're frightened, or else she'll think we are raving mad, and then we shall be sent to Bedlam. How would you like it? He turned suddenly on the miserable Jane. How would you like it to be shut up in iron cage with bars, with bars, bars and pedals, walls, and nothing to do but sticky straws in your hair all day, and listen to the hollings and ravings of the other manises. Make up your mind to it, all of you. It's one use. It's no use telling mother,
Very
but
good.
it's true.
Okay, that's it. Well done.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good. Nicely read. And let's look at some words first. And then Moz is having voice issues today, I'm afraid. So we'll see. Anyhow, there's a lot of banging going on in the background where you are today, I'm afraid, Reem. So I didn't catch everything, but I think I caught most things. Okay, I'm sure April will let me know. Okay, so the first one, it's dreamy. Yeah, to dream, to be dreamy, but we say dreamily. Ah, oh, George.
Dreamily?
Dreamily, yeah. Okay, so it's an adverb. He said dreamily, sort of in a dreamy way, like, ah, April might say, oh, George Clooney. Or maybe not. Then the next one, pearls, not perils, pearls. Pearls of wisdom. Pearls are a precious stone out of oysters. Pearls. Try it?
Yes. Pearls.
That's
Pearls.
it. That's it. Wished has a silent E.
Wished.
That's it. Then we've got temper. If you show a temper, you're angry.
Temper.
That's it. So you've got to get that T at the beginning. Temper. Try it.
Temper.
Better. Then to glance at somebody just means to look very quickly. And so it's in plural, glances.
Glances.
Yeah, some people say glances, some people say glances. I say glances, but I don't mind which, but it's that s at the end, okay? The next one isn't through. Through is with the R. This one is though.
Yeah. Though.
Yeah, you've got to learn those, I'm afraid. Just practice. Through though. I went through the door though it was closed. So I went through the door though I didn't want to. Even though, so try remembering a sentence like that. I went through the door even though I didn't want to. Okay? Because you've got to get your brain to accept.
Yeah, I want to throw the door even so I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, the next one, to find, found. So find is the standard. To find something. Found is the past tense, but in this context it was find. Okay?
Okay, find.
That's it. And then scornful. To be scornful.
Scornful.
Yes.
Scornful.
Scornful. That's better. Scornful. The sort of thing children do.
Scornful.
Na, 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 na. Very scornful. It's not nice. It's not a nice thing to be. For example, yesterday in Vikings, we beat the kingdom that we were fighting. And they were very They were very scornful of us because we'd beaten them, but we didn't fight. But we were like, yeah, so what? We won. But they were very scornful. It was most rude. Okay, the next one, exhaustive. Exhaustive. To do something.
Exhaustive.
Yeah. To do something in a very thorough way. An exhaustive search. Okay, if you're looking for something, an exhaustive search. After that, stoutly. Stoutly.
Stoutly. Stoutly.
Perfect. Yeah, well done. Then pretending. To pretend. Pretending.
Pretending. Pretending.
Very good. Then we're going to the madhouse.
The madhouse.
Yeah, literally that. The lunatic asylum was sometimes called the madhouse or bedlam. And then an iron
Yeah.
cage. An iron cage.
Iron cage.
That's
Iron
it.
cage.
Not iron. With this, it's almost a silent R. Iron cage.
Oh yeah. Iron cage.
That's better. Much easier to say without saying iron. I don't do the ironing. I do the ironing. And then a maniac. Maniacs.
Maniacs.
Yeah.
Maniacs.
That's right. People with mental health issues might be called a maniac. But there's a wonderful song if you want to try it. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor, and she's dancing like she's never danced before.
Nice.
And then this last bit, it's the sort of interjection you might use to show surprise. Goodness knows what we're in for. It just means we've no idea what's going to happen. Goodness knows what we're in for. Try it.
Goodness knows what we're in for.
What
In
we're
for.
in for.
What we're for.
What we're in for. Where is there? Not were. Were is without the apostrophe. Because where is we are. Okay? So goodness knows what
Yeah.
we're in for.
What where?
What
What we were?
we're
We
in for. Yeah.
were in for.
Yeah, what we're in for. Well done. Yeah?
Thank you very much, Leon.
You're welcome. Well done. And Shiny's still outside. Shiny, come in if you can. Yay! Here she is. The LEN mascot. Yes, April.
How is the sounds of a person who is speaking stoutly? For example, here.
It would be a little bit Brian Blessed. Now then,
Oh.
what's going on here?
Okay, like that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it says sort of in a I don't know, in a very, yeah, what would you say? Authoritatively maybe? Yeah. It's in it a lot. There's one at the end of chapter 9. You shan't bully him, said Anthea stoutly. Not if I can stop it. So in that sort of authoritative way. Okay. I don't care, said Anthea stoutly. We'll tell her the truth. So very authoritatively. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. So Moz is back. Moz, have you got Tough, could you type in nearby chat, because it's very difficult to follow two different chats. Okay, here's the text link. Is Moz back? No. Okay, I think Moz has got real connection problems today, bless him. Okay, so Shiny, if you would like to start reading when you're ready.
But it's true, said Jane. Of course it is, but it's not true enough for grown-up people to believe it, said Anthea. She was right. Let's put flowers in all the vases. And try not to think about diamonds. After all, everything has come right in the end all the other times, so they filled all the pots they could find with flowers, asters, and zinnias, and loose-leaf laid red roses from the wall of the stable yard, till the house was a perfect bower. And almost as soon as dinner was clear the way, Mother arrived and was clasped in loving arms. It was very difficult indeed not to tell her all about the summit at once, because they had got into the habit of telling her everything, but they did succeed in not telling her. Mother, on her side, had plenty to tell them about Granny and Granny's pigeons, and Auntie Emma's lamb tam donkey. She was very delighted with the boweryness of the house, and everything seemed so natural and pleasant. Now that she was home again, and the children almost thought they must have dreamed the summit. But when Mother moved towards the stairs to go up to her bedroom and take off her bonnet, the 8 arms clung round her just as if she only had 2 children, one the lamb and the other an octopus. "Don't go up, Mommy darling," said Anthea. "Let me take your things up for you." "Oh, I will," said Cyril. "We want you to come and look at the rose tree," said Robert. "Oh, don't go up," said Jane hopelessly. "Nonsense, dears," said Mother briskly. "I'm not such an old woman yet that I can't take my bonnet off in the proper place. Besides, I must wash these black hands of mine." So up she went, and the children, following her, exchanged glances of gloomy foreboding. Mother took off her bonnet. It was a very pretty hat, really, with white roses on it, and when she had taken it off, she went to the dressing table to do her pretty hair. On the table between the ring stand and the pin cushion lay on green leather case. Mother opened it. "Oh, how lovely!" she cried. It was a ring, a large pearl with shining many lighted diamonds set round it. "Wherever did this come from?" Mother asked, trying it on her wedding finger, which it fitted beautifully. "However, did it come here?" "I don't know," said each of the children truthfully. "Father must have told Martha to put it here," Mother said. "I will run down and ask her." "Let me look at it," said Anthea, who knew Martha would not be able to see the ring. But when Martha was asked, of course, she denied putting the ring there, and so did Eliza and Cook. Mother came back to her bedroom, very much interested and pleased about the ring. But when she opened the dressing table drawer and found a long case containing an almost priceless diamond necklace, she was more interested still, though not so pleased, in the wardrobe. When she went to put away her bonnet, she found a tiara and several brooches, and the rest of the jewelry turned up in various parts of the room. During the next half hour, the children looked more and more uncomfortable, and now Jane began to sniff.
Well
Mother
done.
looked at her.
Okay. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Okay, we've got feedback again. Oh, thank you. You've muted. Well done. Okay, so nicely read. And just a couple of words. Let's look at the individual words first. Okay, so the first one is pleasant. I know we say to please, but this is from pleasant is like pleasure. Okay, so pleasant. Try it.
Pleasant.
That's it. So you got pleasure and pleasant, but please. Okay. Then octopus.
Octopus.
That's it. Yes, 8 legs. In fact, I believe octopi or octopuses have 4 arms and 4 legs. They've worked out, but anyway, 8 limbs. Octopus, and then brooch and brooches.
Brooches.
That's it. I know it's a double O, but it's one of those things you have to just learn. It's not an oo sound. It's brooch, brooches for plural. And do you know what a brooch is, Shiny? Okay, it's a piece of jewellery. A necklace goes round your neck. A bracelet goes round your wrist. Earrings go in your ears. But a brooch just attaches to a piece of your clothing. Normally it's worn on the chest, like a medal almost. And we call it a brooch. Okay? Okay, so the next bit, this sentence here, just the intonation, your pronunciation was spot on, but the intonation was off. So, however did it come here? It's a question we might say, however did that happen? However did it come here? Try it.
Yeah.
Oh.
However did it come here?
That's better. Good. Perfect. And then you get a smiley. 2 smileys. Clasped and asked. Or clasped and asked. Either is correct. Well done. Now, crown versus tiara. A tiara is more of a half moon shape to dress the hair, to make the hair look pretty. And a crown usually goes all the way round, okay, the head, and it's a symbol of authority. Okay. A tiara. You've watched? Now, what was it? Oh, there was a TV. The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory. When Sheldon bought Amy a tiara to say sorry, and he bought her a tiara, and she was like, "It's a tiara!" It's very funny. I can't remember which episode of which series, but if you remember that, it was a tiara, kind of a half moon that goes into the hair, just as decoration. Carries no authority, whereas the crown carries authority. Okay.
What do brides wear then, Lynn? Is a tiara
Generally a
or
tiara,
crown?
yeah. It's very rare that a bride would wear a crown. You get a crown, you are crowned, remember, yeah, when you are crowned. You don't get tiara'd. Okay. You get crowned to become king or queen, and it conveys the authority. And if you're crowned, it can also mean you're hit heavily on the head. I crowned him one, but yeah. Okay, so Moz, you say you can hear us. Now, can we hear you? Yay!
Yes, Lynn.
Awesome, well done, well done. So, would you like to do your bit of reading? You'll have to be the last one. Sorry, tough guy, but I did explain earlier I've got to go reasonably on time today. So, Moz, would you like to carry on reading? Do you know where we're up to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I just followed it. The mother looked at her gravely. Is the start? Is this the start?
Yes, that's it. Well done.
Okay. Uh, Mother looked at her gravely. Jane, she said, I'm sure you know something about. Now think before you speak. And we found a fairy. Gently. We found a fairy. Nonsense, please, said her mother sharply. Don't, don't be silly, Jane, Cyril interrupted. Then he went on desperately. Look here, Mother. We the things before, but late then at the place lost all her jewelry by wicked burglars at last night. Could this possibly be it? All drew a deep breath. They were saved. But how could they put it here? And as Mother, not surely it would have been easier and safer to make off with it? Suppose, said Cyril, they thought it better to wait for sunset, nightfall. I mean, before they went off it. No one but us. You were coming back today. Send for the police at once, said before distractedly. Oh, how I wish Daddy were here. Wouldn't wouldn't it be better to wait till he does come? Asked Robert. Asked Robert, knowing that be home before sunset. No, no, I can't wait. All this on my mind. All this was the heap of jewel cases on the bed. They put them all in the wardrobe, and Mother locked it. Then Mother called Martha. Martha, she said, has any stranger been into my room since away? No. Now answer me truthfully. Mom, answered Martha, leastways, what I say, what I mean to say. She stopped. Come, said her mistress kindly. I see someone has. You must tell me at once. Don't be frightened. I'm sure you haven't. Martha burst in. I was going to give you warning this very day, Mom, to live at the end of my mouth. So I was, on account of me being going to a respectable young a gamekeeper he is, and I wouldn't deceive you of the name of Bill, and it's as true as I stand here. It was your coming home in such a hurry, and no warning given, but of the kindness of his heart it was, as he, my beauty, he says, which I ain't and never was, but you know how them will go on. I can't see you a toiling and a moiling and not lend a helping, and which mine is a strong arm, and it's yours, Martha. My dear, says he, and so he held of the windows, but outside, full time, and me in. Never say another breathing word. It's gospel truth. Were you with him? Were you with him the whole time? I asked him outside, and me, said Martha, except a fresh pail and and the leather that of Eliza's hidden away behind the mangle. That will do, said the children's mother. I am not pleased with you, Martha, but you have spoken the truth, and that counts. When Martha had gone, the children clung round their mother. Oh, Mommy darling, cried Anthea, it isn't Bill's fault. It isn't really. He is a great dear. He is, truly and honorably, and as honest as the day. Don't let the police take him, Mommy. Oh, don't. Here was an innocent man accused of through that silly, and it was absolutely useless to tell the truth, and all longed to, but they thought of the straws in the hair and the shrieks of the other frantic maniacs, and they could not. Is there a cart hereabouts? Asked the mother, a trap of any sort? In to Rochester, and tell the police at once. All the children sobbed. There's a cart at the farm, but oh, don't go. Wait till Daddy comes home. Father took not the faintest notice. When she had set her mind on a thing, she went straight through with it. It's rather like Anthea in this respect.
Very good.
Look,
well done.
Cyril.
Okay. Nicely read. Well done. Okay. So we didn't manage to finish off today, but I'm sure we will next week, won't we, April? Okay. Sorry, you'd have to have been in the last session to understand why I'm saying that. But nicely read. Just a couple of words and one little bit of intonation. Okay. And first word is to be obedient, but again, it's an adverb. I don't know why you all have such a problem with adverbs. So to be obedient, but to do something obediently. Obediently. Try it.
Obediently.
He said obediently. Every time you do as I tell you, you're being obedient. You're doing it obediently. Well done. And then the next one is from to breathe. So breathing.
Breathing.
Yes, as long as it's a breath, the noun is always that eh sound, a breath, to take a breath, take a deep breath, yeah? But you are breathing. Okay. Okay. And then
I get confused.
again, another adverb, to feel feverish. Okay, which hot and flustered in this way. She's very. I mean, you can imagine, can't you? You suddenly find a load of stolen jewels in your bedroom. You'd be very hot and flustered and worried. And so feverish, but feverishly. Feverishly. Try it.
Feverishly.
Okay, good. Now, it was breaking up a little bit, the sound. If you listen to the recording, you'll notice that some of the words disappeared. So they're the ones I caught, but I think you're having a few sound problems today, Moz. Never mind. And then the last one, it would be said mother distractedly. Okay, she sounds... Oh, I don't know what's going on. What did you just say? I didn't catch that. That's to feel distracted. So, said mother distractedly. Try it.
Said mother distractedly.
That's it. So again, adverb. Did you notice there's 3 adverbs there? Try to get used to adverbs. Okay, there's just a ly added to the end of the usual word. Feverish, feverishly. Distracted, distractedly. Obedient, obediently. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't. I will look at my dictionary. I forgot what's the what I'm going to ask. So it's okay.
Oh dear, okay. We seem to be going through that today. Okay, so let me just shrink the pigeon a bit. He's a bit big, isn't he? Granny's pigeon there. All right, so we will leave it at there for this week. Next week, I'm sure we will finish. I'm not making any promises though, April. I'm not. I'm just trying to see. But thank you so much for coming and reading and taking part. That's good. Well done. Any questions before
What
I
was
disappear?
the last sentence, Lynn?
The
In
last-
this respect, or
The last sentence I have got is, "Look here, Cyril," she said, sticking on her hat. That's the next sentence.
okay? Thank you.
Okay.
I'm right.
She was rather like Anthea in this respect, was the last sentence that Moz read. So next week we will start at, "Look here, Cyril." Okay. Okay, you're welcome, Moz. Thank you. Take care then. Bye.